Self at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attack.
The Chicago sky didn't just fall short, they crumbled. What unfolded on that court was less of a basketball game and more of a train wreck you couldn't look away from. One moment they were in the fight, the next, gone. Swallowed by a storm of chaos, miscommunication, and flat-out embarrassment. And right at the center of it all stood Angel Reese, once a symbol of grit and promise. Now the face of one of the most jaw-dropping meltdowns in recent memory. You don't just brush off a stat line with 9 turnovers. That's not a bad night, it's a basketball disaster. A meltdown so complete, it felt scripted. It wasn't that Reese made mistakes, it's how relentlessly those mistakes came. Possession after possession, she handed the ball over like it was a gift bag at a party. Fans watched in disbelief as every trip down the floor turned into another opportunity for disaster. This wasn't your typical bad game.
About to be suspended. She has 7 technical fouls on the season.
It was a spectacle. Full-blown implosion on national display. The opposing team didn't just capitalize, they laughed. Courtney Williams and Nefessa Collier weren't playing defense. They were delivering punchlines. It felt less like competition and more like open mic night. And Reese, whether she knew it or not, was the unintentional headliner. 9 giveaways. Imagine that. 1 turnover short of a triple-double, not in stats that win games, but in the kind that lose them. Points, rebounds, and giveaways. That was her trifecta. And yet the sky kept handing her the keys, as if she was orchestrating some grand offensive plan. But there was no plan. Just chaos. Reese played like a point forward lost in translation, calling plays like a director with no script.
Are arguing that none of the texts are warranted. They are all warranted.
Waving her arms while teammates stood still, confused and frustrated. The entire offense ground to a halt every time she touched the ball. No spacing, no rhythm, just traffic and eventually a wreck. And then came the flop. It's the moment that turned an ugly night into a viral mess. 1 exaggerated fall, 1 ridiculous overreaction, and the internet exploded. Memes, roasts, slowed down replays, it was everywhere. Fans didn't just criticize it, they mocked it, they laughed. What was supposed to be a passionate play turned into the punchline of the WNBA's week. But this wasn't new, Reese has shown. This pattern before padding stats in meaningless minutes. Crashing the boards for rebounds after her own misses, over-celebrating after plays that don't matter. It's the same show on repeat. The dramatic gestures, the post-whistle yelling.
Texts are warranted. I'm not joking when I say this. They're like, 4 over 7.
The exaggerated facial expressions. She's building a highlight reel that feels more like a blooper compilation. 1 play summed it all up. She bodied a defender, like it was WWE, screamed in her face, and flashed a double middle finger. Not exactly the kind of leadership you expect. From a supposed cornerstone of a franchise, it wasn't confidence, it was chaos. She wasn't hiding it. In fact, it felt like she was embracing the role of the villain. But villains win. Villains dominate. Reese. She floundered. Meanwhile, her teammates seemed paralyzed, unsure whether to cut to space or to just get out of the way. The skies. System, if you can call it, that was built around her. It's failing. Possession after possession ends in confusion. Canned rolls become pecan praise. Every drive feels like a gamble. Every pass a coin toss.
Game and you square up to your opponent. It's a double tech. And your opponent, you go head to head with your opponent's a double.
The sad part, this isn't all her fault. The coaching staff bears the blame, too. Designing an offense that revolves around unproven talent and ignoring the glaring reality on the court. The idea of Angel Reese as a lead creator has become more fantasy than fact. And yet no one's pulling the brakes. She still screams at teammates like she's carrying them, but the truth? She's dragging them. Her confidence reads more like defiance, no resistant to change, immune to criticism, committed to chaos. She's 1 technical foul away from sitting out. And frankly, it wouldn't surprise anyone. The league keeps pushing. Her, as the next face, the future, the star. But the tape says otherwise. The body language, the mental lapses, the selfish decisions, none of it.
My honest reaction to this when I first saw it, I was just laughing. It's kind of like the reaction that you're seeing from me right here.
Reflects a player ready to lead. The stats might tell part of a story, but the film tells the truth. Look, closer at her double-double. 14 points, 12 rebounds, but most of those boards came from her own misses. Most of those points came after the game was already lost. 9 turnovers, missed assignments, screaming at teammates while forgetting her own coverage. It's all noise with no substance. Meanwhile, rookies around the league are learning, improving, fitting into systems. Reese, she's stuck fighting the game, chasing highlight clips that never deliver, turning every possession into a spectacle. And opposing defenses have cracked the code. Let her try. She'll force it. She'll fumble it. Eventually, she'll give it away. And as social media continues to gas her up, the reality on the floor gets harder to ignore.
They become controversial because they're like, oh, if another player did this, there would be think pieces written about it.
Her presence doesn't. Inspire it unsettles. Even teammates seem unsure what she'll do next. She's not directing the offense. She's detonating it. Flexing after a free throw when you're down 20. It's not energy, it's denial. And while the WNBA marketing machine spins on, fans watching closely are asking the real questions. How long can clout outrank chemistry? When does tough love become necessary? This wasn't just a bad night. It was a turning point. A reminder that flash doesn't equal fundamentals, that hype doesn't equal impact, and that no amount of branding can cover up a broken system. The WNBA doesn't need more noise, it needs results. And Angel Reese, for all her bravado, is dangerously close to becoming the player you market around, but can't build around.
As well as the Chi-Town Barbie and Double-Double Barbie, and whatever other...
If something doesn't change soon, the only legacy she'll leave behind is a highlight reel of what not to do on, a warning to every franchise chasing fame over function.